We discussed the appearance of Jagannath-Ji and how, last what I remember was we discussed when Rohini Mata was telling the pastimes to all the queens, and then they were in the Mahabhav stage. So, others can add if I'm somewhere left behind.
No, that is right. So Rohini Mata was telling, and this was a Mahabhav stage because Jagannath-Ji or Krishna, he was in complete separation from Radharani and all the Brajvasis. So in that separation mood, because he was in Dwarka, he was constantly thinking of all these Brajvasis, especially Srimati Radharani. And now when Rohini Mata was telling all the pastimes, he was really missing them, really in separation. So that real separation, it actually brings out all the sentiments from inside. So he was really, really thinking of Radharani and all the devotees, all the Brajvasis. So that's why it was called Mahabhav. And in that bhav, the Mahabhav actually, it's not even bhav. What we talk about is when we do bhakti, like Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, then Anasnivritti, then Nishtha, then some taste, Ruchi, then some attachment, Asakti, then Bhav, then Prem. But this Mahabhav starts after this Prem, stage of Prem that we talked about. After that, there are so many other stages. Pranay, Mam, Sneha, this, that. Then comes Bhav, then Mahabhav, then it's Madanacham Mahabhav, then Modanacham Mahabhav. There are so many different categories. And that is where Srimati Radharani that we talk about, she is the only one at the topmost stage. There's nobody else in that stage. And Krishna, he came to that stage as Jagannath. So this is Lord Jagannath. So that's why his eyes are very big. Eyes are also very big. If you see around the eyes, there is a redness in the painting of Jagannath. Always they show redness. This redness is because of his love for his devotees. Because he loves his devotees so much, the redness appears in his eyes, around his eyes. So anyway, not going into this Mahabhav stage because that is too much for us to hear or can't even conceive of that. So this was a mood, and that's what Narad Muni saw, and Narad Muni said to the Lord that you have to appear as this and that form. So Jagannath said, yes, I will appear in Purushottam Kshetra for the next 50 years of Brahmaji. So this is, so that's when he appeared. So this Rath Yatra festival that we celebrate, the temple celebrates every year, it has many significances. Actually, in that temple, Jagannath-Puri temple, Lord Jagannath temple, somehow the condition is that only Hindus are allowed inside the temple to take darshan of the Lord. And if somebody else somehow they try to sneak in, and if the Pandavas find out, then what they do, okay, before that, let's not get into the Yatra because that's another whole new topic. So we were discussing about singing the film. So he got this beauty's name. And then he was thinking that, oh, they are unfinished, and he was repenting. And then he got the message, no, Krishna wants to appear in this one. So Krishna, then Krishna appeared in his dream and he said, install me like this only. Now, who was going to install? So they called Brahmaji. So Brahmaji came, and Brahmaji said, Jagannath does not need to be installed. He's already installed. He is the himself. He is the Lord himself. There is no need to install. Like in our temples, when we get a murti made of Radha Krishna, so we have to go through so much of process to do the installation, to do the sthapana pran pratishtha of the Vigraha. But Brahmaji came, he said, Jagannath is already there. He is Krishna himself. You don't need to install him. So what he installed was, there's a deity of Lord Nrsimha there. If anybody has been to Lord Jagannath temple, or whenever we go there, behind the temple, there's a deity of Lord Nrsimha there. He's on a height, so we have to climb some stairs to take a dर्शन. So that was originally installed by Brahmaji. And that deity of Nrsimha was actually found near Bhubaneswar. A king found him, but he brought him to Jagannath-Puri, and then that is a deity that Brahmaji installed. So Jagannath-ji, then he came in the temple, Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra and Sudarshan. Now Sudarshan, actually Sudarshan is a chakra. It's a round. It's a weapon of Krishna. But here the Sudarshan is in the form of a rod or a post, you can say. It's a spray, like a stick. So what had happened when Krishna was in Dwarka? So in Dwarka, when he was residing there, so somehow, for some reason, Sudarshan-ji, Garud-ji, and Rani Satyabhama, they all developed some kind of pride. Garud-ji had the pride that nobody can fly faster than me. Sudarshan-ji had the pride that nobody is stronger than me. Satyabhama had pride that nobody is more beautiful than me. And somehow Krishna, he does not like pride in his devotee. So he said, I have to take care of you. So one day he was sitting with Satyabhama, and Satyabhama somehow started talking about Krishna's Ram Leela. And she said, when you were Ram, when you came as Ram, so Sita, you were in the forest. What kind of mood you were in? What was that? Sita, like you were Ram and you were in the forest as mendicant. So Krishna said, "Oh, you want to see that form, and then she was talking about Hanuman. So Krishna said, you want to see Hanuman? Sure." So Krishna sent he sent Sudarshan to get Hanuman. And Hanumanji was in inner Loka, and he is there, always worshipping Lord Ram, the Vigraha of Lord Ram. So Sudarshan Chakra went to call Hanuman. He said, okay, Hanumanji, Krishna is there in Dwarka, he's calling you. Hanumanji was so busy in serving Ram, he just didn't even bother to look at Sudarshan. Sudarshan was getting a little upset. He's not even looking at him. So Sudarshan again told that Krishna is waiting for you in Dwarka. Come, see him. Hanumanji said, who Krishna? I am servant of Ram. So he just picked up Sudarshan and put him in his mouth, and he kept on his puja. So Sudarshan didn't come back, and Krishna knew what is happening. And then he sent Garudji. He said, Garudji, why don't you go and call Hanuman? And now when you go and tell him, go and see him, tell him that Ram is waiting for you in Dwarka. Come and see him. So Garudji went, and Garudji told Hanuman, oh, Ram is waiting for you in Dwarka. And as soon as Hanumanji heard, Ram is waiting for me in Dwarka, he immediately just came to Dwarka. And he came to Dwarka, and he came inside the palace. And then Krishna had told Satyabhama actually that Hanumanji is about to come, but take the form of Sita. Because Krishna took the form of Ram as he was in the forest. But Satyabhama said, I'm a king, I don't want to take the form of Sita who was in the forest without all the jewelry and everything. So,
your voice is not coming clearly, Prabhu.
Actually, somehow my headphone is not working. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay.
Is it better now?
It's not better because you used to be very clear. Now it's like some echo.
Or is there some...
And it is breaking also in between.
Really, I don't know why my headphones are not working. Maybe the port is not working.
Okay, okay. No problem, Prabhu. We have to pay more attention. That is what I am asking.
Okay, so I'll try to fix it tomorrow, but today you just bear with me, please.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Krishna had taken the form of Ram, but Satyabhama didn't. So Hanumanji appeared, and Hanumanji appeared before Ram. And then Krishna asked, "Where is Garudji?" And Garudji was coming after Hanuman, and he was really breathing, he was gasping for breath, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so fast." But Hanumanji was there even before Garudji came. And Krishna is, "Where is Sudarshan?" So Hanumanji, "Oh, yeah, I forgot. He was in my mouth." And from his mouth he took up Sudarshan. "Oh, here is your Sudarshan." So just to break the pride of both Sudarshan and Garudji and Satyabhama, what Hanumanji came when he saw Ram and he saw Satyabhama as a queen, then Hanumanji looked at her and he said, "Oh my Lord, where is Sita and who is this maid servant standing next to you?" And Satyabhama was completely shattered. Her pride was completely shattered. So, so Hanumanji then saw Ram and then he worshipped, then he went back. But then Krishna, he didn't like this pride of Sudarshan Chakra. He said, "You thought you were the most powerful? Hanumanji is more powerful than you. But now, because of this offense, you will not take the form of a chakra when I come as Jagannath. You will be standing with me in the form of a host. So you don't go around like you did now." So that's why Sudarshan took the form of a host. But that's also, it's his pastime, so he likes it. He's always there. So Jagannath-ji, then when the temple was built, that temple was built by Vishwakarma himself long ago in Satyuga. The original temple was built in Satyuga. Afterwards, yes, many kings have done some renovations, some repair work, this and that. In fact, when Britishers were here, they tried to dig the external wall, boundary wall of Jagannath temple. They kept on digging and they could not find the end of it, where the bottom is, where the foundation is. They could not even find the foundation of that. It's so deep. Nobody knows where exactly it is. So Jagannath-ji was very pleased with King Indrajit by his austerity, by his sacrifices he had performed. So he asked King Indrajit, "You asked me for some benedictions." So Maharaj Indrajit said, "Oh my Lord, if you're pleased with me, give me 3 boons. First boon, that your temple should at the most close for 1 or 2 hours every day, not more than that. So more people can come and take darshan." He said, "Okay." Even today, I mean, temple is not closed for too long. And before last year, actually, there was no time for the opening or closing of the temple, and no time for the artis either. Now the government is somehow getting strict, and they want fixed timing, but they don't know Jagannath. Jagannath will do something. And then second thing he asked was, your hands should never be dry. Means, as soon as you finish your meal and you wash your hands, the next meal should be ready for you to eat. So that's a Jagannath. The whole day he's eating there in Jagannath Puri. So every day he has chapan bhog. And third thing is, he asked was, there should not be a son in my family. Or anybody who's king of Puri, he should not have a son. Why? So that nobody can claim that this temple belongs to us or our family. This temple is yours and it should belong to you. So even today, till today, there is a king of Puri. But when this king of Puri is about to leave his body, then Jagannath-ji comes to his dream and then he tells him to adopt this, whoever particular boy Jagannath-ji wants to get adopted. And he tells him, "You adopt this boy and groom him as a king, and he'll be the next king." So there is no, the king of Puri, he has no son in his family. And to give, because as I said, the Hindus are not, only Hindus are allowed, especially for Kali Yuga, because before Kali Yuga there was no such thing as Hindus and Muslims and Christians. So in Kali Yuga only Hindus are allowed. So Jagannath-ji then comes on his chariot at the day of the Yatra, and he goes from Shri Mandir, the Jagannath Mandir, to Gundicha temple. And Gundicha is the name of wife of King Indradyumna. So somehow on her name, this temple is named, and it's about 3 or 4 kilometers away. Then Jagannath-ji stays there for 9 days, and after 9 days, the Rath Yatra is back, it comes back. So there's another beautiful pastime. Like now we know on Snan Yatra, Jagannath-ji gets sick. So for 15 days, he doesn't come out and he takes rest and he gives time to Lakshmi-ji for 15 days. So on the day of Rath Yatra, so a day before Rath Yatra, Jagannath-ji gives darshan, first darshan to all the devotees. And on the day of Rath Yatra, he comes and sits on the chariot. All the 3 brothers and sisters, they have their different chariots. And they go to Gundicha temple. But what happens is, because Jagannath-ji is with Lakshmi-ji for 15 days, then he tells Lakshmi-ji that, see, I want to go to my Masi's house, and that Gundicha temple is considered his Masi's house. So all 3 of us, 3 brothers, sisters, will go, me, Balramji and Subhadra, and we'll come back in 2 days. So Lakshmi-ji, after lots of arguments, then she relents and she agrees. And then they go. So then there is a day called Hera Panchami. Panchami is the 5th day of Rath Yatra. So on that day, Lakshmi-ji says, the date, he told me he will come back in 2 or 3 days. And it's the 5th day and he hasn't come back yet. So she sends her servants, and her servants go to Gundicha temple where the chariots are there, and they really have lots of fight over there with Jagannath's servants, and then they break some piece of the chariot also, and then they give the warning, if you don't bring Jagannath-ji back soon enough, then Lakshmi-ji will be very upset, and then we'll see what will happen, and this and that. And in fact, we don't understand Uriya language, but I have heard that they do some abusive language also. They use abusive language. But this is Lakshmi-ji's mood. And then the servants come back. Then even after that Hera Panchami, and Jagannath-ji comes back after 9th day, the Rath Yatra is on the way back. And then Lakshmi-ji is still very angry because he didn't come back soon enough. And these 3 brothers, sisters, they are just together, they are having fun. So she, just to please her, all 3 of them, then there's a day of Ekadashi. On that day, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they have to wear gold ornaments, gold dresses, Shona Vesh is called. So they have to wear that Shona Vesh, and this pleases Lakshmi-ji, and that now they have accepted my authority. So even that day they don't come inside. They stay on the chariot outside the door. Next day, then there is a festival, and that's when first Balramji goes in, then Subhadra goes in. But when Jagannath-ji tries to go in, Lakshmi-ji's servants again come and they close the doors. They don't let Jagannath come in. It really happens over there. If you're there, you can really see this pastime. They don't let him come in, and then Jagannath-ji has to feed her lots of rasgulla. They feed lots of rasgullas, the sweet exchange is there, and then Lakshmi-ji is pleased, then she allows him to come in. And that is the end of Rath Yatra. So more stories of Rath Yatra, I think I'll tell tomorrow. How much time I have now? 7 minutes. So some stories of Jagannath-ji and his temple. So this,
you have half an hour.
How come I have a...
Today you class is till 9:30, na?
Oh, okay. So anyway, let's talk about the stories of Jagannath and temple first. Because this temple is very, very mysterious place. There's so many things in the temple. Even I haven't explored all the things in the temple yet. There's so many things. So once, what happened? Narad Muni, he desired to have prasad of Lord Vishnu, Mahaprasad. So Narad Muni, we know he is a spiritual spaceman and he can go anywhere of life. So he went to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, and he went straight to Lakshmiji. Lakshmiji, I want to have prasad of Lord Vishnu. Lakshmiji said, Narad, my son, Vishnuji has told me, do not give my prasad to anybody. So I cannot just go around and give you prasad. He will be very angry with me. But Naradji said, see, mother, I have come all the way here. I want to fulfill my desire. She said, no, I cannot do that. He has categorically told me, do not give my prasad to anybody. And I cannot just go against his wishes, against his orders. Narad said, okay. Then he said, okay, mother, can I stay here for some time and help you in your kitchen and serve you? Lakshmi said, okay, yeah, that you can do. So he stayed and he served in the kitchen. So after a few days, again, he said, see, I have served you so nicely. I need some payment for that. Lakshmi said, what do you want in the payment? He said, I want some prasad. Lakshmi said, it is not possible. Naraji said, okay, why don't you ask Vishnuji? And if he agrees, then you give him. Lakshmi said, okay. She went to Lord Vishnu. So when she went there, Lord Vishnu said, see, for Narad, I have to bend the rules. Otherwise, I'm not supposed to. I wasn't going to. But for Naradji, I will bend the rules. So he said, okay, what we'll do, I will look this way and then behind my back, you take the plate and you give it to Narad. So I won't see it that you have broken the rule, so it's okay. Lakshmi said, okay, whatever works, that's fine. So Narad Muni, he got the prasad and he ate everything. And when he ate the prasad, he started to dance and he didn't know where his Veena went and where his Dhoti went, and he was dancing and chanting. And he was in so much ecstasy. So dancing like that, he came to Kailash. So on Kailash, Shivji was staying there, and Naradi was dancing and jumping and chanting Krishna's name. And Shivji said, my dear brother, what happened? How come you're in so much of ecstasy? Naraji said, oh, today I got Vishnu Prasad. Today I got Vishnu Prasad. I got the Mahaprasad of Vishnu. Shivji said, I'm your elder brother. Did you save any prasad for me? Narad Muni then stopped. He said, I didn't save anything for you. Shivji was little upset that what kind of brother you are? You are my younger brother and you didn't save any prasad for me. And you're coming here to tell me that you got Vishnu prasad? Narad Muni said, well, wait. He said, there is little particle of prasad between my nails, stuck in my nail. So you can have that. Shivji said, okay, give me that. And Shivji then ate just that little bitty particle. And he got into ecstasy and he started to dance. And everybody got scared that he's dancing the Tandav Nritya, and that is at the time of destruction he does this dance, and this is not the time yet. So all the demigods, they got assembled. But what is happening to Shivji? And Narad Muni was dancing and Shivji was dancing. And they were, what's wrong with these two? What is happening? So Parvati ji came from inside. She came to Shivji. She said, my dear Prabhu, this is not the time for destruction. Why are you doing this Tandav dance? Or he said, oh, today Narad gave me Vishnu Prasad and I'm so happy and I ate that. So I'm in ecstasy, I'm dancing and he was dancing. Now Parvati ji asked, did you save any for me? And Shivji, oh well, this Narad, he gave me just little particle of prasad. He ate the whole plate and he didn't give me any. What was there to say for you? And then Parvati ji got angry. What is this? You didn't. You are my husband. I'm supposed to have half of whatever you have. And you didn't give me. It's a bit prasad. So she got angry. And when she got angry, and she went into tapasya. And she went into tapasya, then Vishnuji appeared, and he pacified her. And then Vishnuji told her that when I appear as Jagannath on earth, then your temple will be right behind my temple. See, this because Shiva, he didn't give you prasad, so his temple will be outside the courtyard, not inside the courtyard. And your temple will be right behind me. And whatever I eat, first you will get, and then it will go to everybody else. Actually, this was Parvatiji's mood. She said, your prasad is so glorious, everybody should have access to it. Why Narad and Shiva only? Why not everybody? The whole public should have. So then Vishnuji said, okay, then you will get prasad and then it will go to everybody. So that Parvati over there in Jagannath temple, her name is Vimla. So Jagannathji's prasad first comes to Parvati ji, then it becomes Vimla prasad, and then it really becomes Mahaprasad. Then it comes out in the Anand Bazaar, that is a market over there, where they sell this prasad. So that is the glory of Mahaprasad of the Lord. And now this temple, it's a huge temple, big boundary wall, and Hanumanji's deities are there. Many Hanumanji's deities, temples are there inside the courtyard. So the main door is eastern gate, that faces east, and then behind it is western gate. On the left is southern gate, on the right is northern gate. So on the southern gate, next to southern gate, there is a deity of Hanumanji. And the southern gate is facing the sea. So the sea was very close to Jagannath temple earlier, but now it has been pushed back. But it faces the sea. So once all the pujaris, pandas, they were worshipping Lord Jagannath, and they came to Jagannath. Jagannathji, see the sea, the ocean here, it's very rough. It makes lots of sound, and when we chant our mantras, sometimes we can't even hear our own mantras, what we are chanting. So please listen. So Jagannathji then called Hanumanji, who is at the southern gate. I have to stop it a little. I'm running out of battery. I have to get my power cord. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, where was it? Okay. So Jagannathji called Hanumanji from southern gate, and he asked Hanumanji to do something. So Hanumanji went back to his southern gate, his temple, and then he opened his mouth, and he drank all the noise of the ocean. So what the noise was outside, it's still outside the noise is there of the ocean, but inside that boundary wall of Jagannath temple, there is no noise of the ocean. So all the pujaris are very happy. And there is a temple of Hanumanji, where Hanumanji is kept in shackles. It's called Dediwala Hanuman. So it's on the northern gate. So what had happened there, so Hanumanji is very dear to Jagannathji. Hanumanji was there because what happened, when pujaris were making offering to Lord, then some dogs came inside the complex. And pujaris went to Jagannathji. What is this? This is very inauspicious. It's not very clean. So dogs should not come here. No unworthy person should enter this temple. So Jagannathji called Hanumanji that you take care of this problem. So Hanumanji said, okay. So he's there. He's taking care of all the unwanted people. He doesn't allow them to come in. But once what happened was, Pujaris, they were cooking for Jagannath-The, and somehow the offering was getting delayed. It was very late, and when they made the offering to offer to Jagannath, and then they saw Hanumanji was missing, and then there were some dogs who were inside the complex. So it so happens in Jagannath-The temple that if any unworthy person comes inside the temple, so pujaris, they throw away everything they had cooked. They say it's not fit to be offered to Jagannath. And then they clean the whole temple and then they cook again. So this is what happened. So they had to again clean the whole temple. They threw away everything they had to cook, and then they cooked again. And obviously the offering was getting very late. So then it was so late. Jagannath-Ji asked the pujaris, "What happened? How come the offering is so late?" The pujari said, "Well, what could we do? Hanumanji wasn't there, and he was missing, and these dogs came inside the temple, and we had to cook everything again." Jagannath-Ji called Hanumanji. "What happened to you? Why did you leave? Where did you go?" Hanumanji said, "What can I do? These pujaris were taking so much of time in making the preparations, and until you eat, I cannot eat. And I was getting very hungry. So I went to Ayodhya to eat. There was something over there for me to eat, so I went there to eat, and that's why I got late." So then Jagannath-Ji put Hanumanji in the shackles. So they put him in bedis, so he cannot leave. They say, "You will get your prasad on time, but don't leave now. You cannot go anywhere." So Hanumanji is there in the shackles. And then once Yamraj-ji came. Yamraj-ji came to Jagannath and he said, "Jagannath-Ji, you are the Lord of the universe, and especially for Kali Yuga, you are the Lord of the whole universe. So anybody who comes here takes your darshan. You relieve him of all the sins, and you prepare him to go back to your own loka." But Yamraj-ji said, "You yourself has given me this duty of taking people to hell for all the sins they have committed and to punish them. Now, because of your mercy, my department has no service to do. There's lots of unemployment in my department. Now what to do? What can I do now?" Jagannath-Ji said, "Well, yeah, I know there's a problem, but you have to do your service, but I have to be merciful also. I cannot be without mercy." But Yamraj-Ji said, "You do something, otherwise I'll also come here and just spend time here because I don't have to go back to hell because there's nobody there." So Jagannath-Ji then told him, "Okay, you install this plate. It's a black color plate when we enter from Eastern Gate, Mukh Dwar or Singh Dwar or Puri Dwar." There are 22 steps, and on one of the steps there is this plate. All the steps are very wide, about maybe 10 or 12 feet wide. And this plate is also long, but it still gives about 2 feet distance on both sides. And the plate is, and Jagannath-Ji said, anybody who comes inside and he crosses over that plate, he gets lots of sinful reactions. But when they take darshan of me, all the sins are gone. But when they go back, and if they cross over this plate again while going out, they'll again get all the sins back. Jagannath-Ji was very happy. He installed that plate and left. So when we go to Jagannath temple, we have to be very careful because actually that plate is Shaligram Shiva. So we don't cross over. We go from the side. Or better yet, we go either from the Dakshin Dwar, southern gate, we can go, there is no plate there. So that is it. So if we enter from Puri Dwar, Singh Dwar, main gate, we have to be very careful. Okay. So Jagannath-Ji, is very merciful, and then there is a king of Puri. Always some king is there. So during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, there was a king called Maharaj Prataprutra. So he was king of Puri at that time. And before him, there was King Purushottam Dev. Again, wonderful king. very surrendered soul. So he was king of Puri, and there is this tradition that king of Puri will sweep the road in front of chariot on the day of the Yatra before the chariot starts moving. That's the tradition. So the king takes a very humble position before the Lord and takes a broom and he really sweeps the road. So the king Purushottam Dev used to do that. So once there was this king of Kanchi in South India. So King Purushottam Dev happened to go there to Kanchi to meet this king. And he saw his daughter, Kanchi's king's daughter Padmavati, and somehow they liked each other and there was this alliance and they agreed that Purushottam Dev will marry Padmavati. So Purushottam Dev came back to Puri and because marriage was going to take place after some time. The king of Kanchi, he sent his minister to Jagannath-The to see what kind of king King Purushottam Dev is, how big is his kingdom, and what does he do, all the things. So the minister came to Puri, and that day happened to be the day of Rath Yatra. And the minister saw King Purushottam Dev, he was sweeping the road in front of Jagannath's chariot. So minister said, this is not the work for a king to do. He is acting, this Purushottam Dev is acting like a Chandal. He is like a Shudra. He is sweeping the road. This is not doing. We cannot not marry, let him marry our princess. So he told King Purushottam Dev, there's no way you're going to marry Padmavati, and he came back to Kanchi. So Purushottam Dev was very angry. How come? Actually, he was not angry for himself. He was angry that this minister and king of Kanchi, they have insulted Lord Jagannath. They don't understand who Lord Jagannath is. So he got so angry. He took his army. Although King Purushottam Dev, he was always fully dependent on Jagannath, so he didn't have a big army either for fighting because he never went to fight with anyone. So whatever army he had, whatever soldiers he had, so he took them and he went to fight with King of Kanchi to teach him a lesson, punish him. But this Kanchi Naresh, Kanchi king was very powerful. He defeated Purushottam Dev and somehow Purushottam Dev ran back from Kanchi and came back to Jagannath-Puri. And he went to in front of Lord Jagannath. Jagannath, what is this? I went to fight with them to save your honor. And how come I was defeated? Jagannath told him, but did you take my permission before them? Purushottam said, no, I didn't take any permission. I was so angry. How did he insult you? I just left. So Jagannath said, that's why you lost, because you didn't take my permission. So now you have my blessings. You go and you'll be victorious. So whatever little bit army he had left, few soldiers he had left, so he again started for Kanchi. So when he was going from Puri to Kanchi, there is a village called, I'm forgetting the name of the village. So they were passing, the whole army was passing through that village. So this old lady came to King Purushottam Dev. Her name was Manika. So King Purushottam, yes, what can I do? She said, oh, two of your soldiers, they went ahead and they drank all my buttermilk. They didn't give me the payment. They said, our king is coming. You take the payment from him. King said, what two soldiers? I have very few soldiers in my army and they are all with me. What two soldiers went ahead of me? Manika said, no, they were very beautiful, very strong, very, very solid soldiers you had. One was black in color, one was white in color. The black soldier was on white horse and white soldier was on black horse. And they were had all the weapons and they drank all my buttermilk. I get my livelihood by selling this buttermilk, but they drank it all. And then they said, we don't have money, our king is coming, you take the money from him. The king was surprised. The way she was describing, it looked like it was Jagannath and Baldev. went away. The king said, well, do you have any proof that they drank the buttermilk? She said, yeah, this black guy, he gave me this ring. And he said, this ring, you show it to the king and he will give you the money. So King Purushottam Dev, when he saw the ring, that was the ring of Lord Jagannath. The king understood Jagannath himself is gone, kind of tired of him. And then the king told that lady, Manita, that you are so fortunate, you're very fortunate that Jagannath and Balramji, they have come and drank your buttermilk. So king right then and there, he gave her many villages. He said, you take all the taxes from these villages and this is your the payment for your buttermilk. Till you live, you take the taxes from this village. And then king started ahead. But before he even reached Kanchi, the news came from king of Kanchi and he was defeated, he surrendered. And he said, these two soldiers that you sent, they were so powerful, they defeated all my army, and he was completely defeated. So King Purushottam Dev, then he imprisoned not the king of Kanchi, but imprisoned this princess, Padmavati. And that time, he also brought many deities from Kanchi. One was a deity of Ganeshi, one was the deity of Radha Kanta, Radha Krishna, and one of the deity of Sakshi Gopal. He brought them back to Jagannath-The. So Sakshi Gopal he installed on the way from when we go from Bhubaneswar to Puri. In between there is a place called Sakshi Gopal Gaon. So in that village, the Sakshi Gopal deity is installed. And he brought these deities of Ganeshi and Radha Kanta. So that Ganeshi deity is still behind Lord Jagannath temple in Jagannath-The. And he installed Radhakanta where Jagannath-ji is sitting. So before that room, there's another room. That's where they installed Radhakanta. And then they had imprisoned this Padmavati princess. So Padmavati he had imprisoned because he said, because of you, I was insulted. So I will make sure that you marry a Shudra. Because you are not fit to marry a kingly person. And she was crying like anything. But then the king had a minister who was very, very knowledgeable. So he said, okay, Maharaj, till we find a suitable husband for her, let her stay with me in our house. We'll take care of her. King agreed, okay, that's fine. So then next time, when this day of Rath Yatra came, again, 3 chariots, Lord Jagannath was on the chariot, and King Purushottam, they were sweeping the road in front of the chariot. And at that time, the minister brought Padmavati. And he told King, oh King, I think I found the best Shudra for this princess, who she will marry. King was happy, okay, who is that Shudra? I mean, let her marry to a sweeper. The minister said, well, you are the best sweeper I could find who can marry this princess. The king said, you are very clever. And that's how in Purushottam they then married Padmavati, and then they went on. So this is Jagannath's mercy. So now, coming back to the deities they brought. So this Radha Kanta deities that they brought, so this was installed in front of Jagannath. So once Jagannath-ji told the pujaris, then what is it? I'm not getting all the preparations that you're making these days. Pujari said, well, what is happening because this Radha Kanta is installed there, so all the cooks, they take some sweets to them somehow. So Jagannath said, this is not right, this is not fair. Why? You take these deities away from here. So you take Radha Kanta out of here. So then this deity of Radha Kanta was taken from the Jagannath temple and was installed in Gambhira, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed for 18 years when Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath. So those deities are still there. Now, I will take you away from Puri to a place called Simant-Dweep in Navadvip. So in Simant-Dweep, Navdvip means 9 islands, and Simandwip is one of the islands. There is a temple of Lord Jagannath. And somehow, few years ago, this temple came under the uh, service of ISKCON. So the pujaris there, they said we cannot take care of the deities here properly, and ISKCON can do it nice job, so they gave it to ISKCON. So when the deities came to ISKCON devotees worked very hard and they established the temple, nice new building and the kitchen and everything. So pujari there, somebody gave him a Govardhan Shila, and he installed Govardhan Shila. Of course, for Govardhan also we don't need installation. We just kept it on the altar. And just like when we offer in the temple to the deity, so he used to make one plate where all the offering is there, and Jagannath Baladev they use from one plate. Or no, I'm sorry. The 3 plates are there, so one for Jagannath, one for Balbhadra, one for Subhadra. But for Giriraji there was no separate plate. So Giriraji was eating from Jagannath's plate. So one day it happened, 2 days it happened. So Jagannath even came in the dream of this pujari. He said, "Who did you bring here?" Pujari said, "What do you mean, who did I? This Govardhan, Giriraji." Jagannath said, "You see, when you offer bhoga to us, we wait till you finish your mantras and whatever you do, and then we start eating. But this Govardhan, he starts eating before you finish your mantras. So I don't get my whole meal. So you take him out of it, or you make a separate plate for them." So since that day, pujaris make a separate plate for Govardhan. You have your meal, Jagannath has his own meal. So it's for us to understand that deity is not just murti. They have feelings. They really eat. It's up to us how we feed them. And Jagannath told Govardhan, he starts eating. He eats so much because Govardhan, because he eats the whole mountain of food stuff, no? Govardhan. So Chapan Bhog is not enough for him. So Jagannath just should take him out or make separate place for him. So then he makes a separate place. Anyway, coming back to Jagannath-Puri. There are so many stories of Lord Jagannath. I want to see how much time I have. Again, only 7 minutes left. I don't know why. Whenever I check the time, only 7 minutes are left. Okay, about Lakshmi ji. Now, Lakshmi ji gets angry with Jagannath ji. So she is wife, she has every right to get angry. Huh? So in Jagannath-Puri, whenever you go there, like I went there and I was specifically told, do not leave Jagannath-Puri on Thursday. I was like, why? What's so special on Thursday? In fact, we had taken a whole group and we were going to leave Thursday night. And Pujari's Pandas told her, Rashmi also told, do not leave on Thursday. So we had to plan the trip in such a way that we left Jagannath-Puri after midnight. So technically it was Friday, it wasn't Thursday. So what happens is Thursday is the day of Lakshmi Ji. So that day Lakshmi Ji goes around the whole Jagannath-Puri, and whoever her devotees are, she blesses that house. So Thursday is the day of Lakshmi Ji. So one of these Thursdays, she was out and she took the form of a old lady and she went to her devotee's house. One house, they said, one house she went to, and the house wasn't clean properly. And so she got really upset over there, and she told residents of that house that I will never enter your house again. So that house, the family became really poor. And then she was roaming around in Jagannath-Puri, going to different houses of the devotees. And then there was a Chandalini, her name was Shriya Chandalini. And she was a very big devotee of Lakshmi Ji. She invited Lakshmi Ji to her house, and she fed Lakshmi Ji her own hands. So meanwhile, Jagannath and Balram, they were also taking different form. They were roaming around in Jagannath-Puri, going to different houses. And Balramji saw Lakshmiji eating at the house of Chandalini. And he got upset. And he told Jagannath, what is this? If she is going to eat at the house of Chandalini, how can she cook for us? She has become outcast. Actually, in the kitchen of Jagannath temple, there are 100 stoves, and on every stove they keep 10 pots, earthen pots, one above the other, and they cook. And it is said the final cooking, final chomp is done by Lakshmi in that kitchen every day. And all the cooks are basically servants of Lakshmi. So Balramji was saying, then we cannot eat whatever is cooked there because she is become contaminated. Jagannath said, Balramji, don't do this, you'll be in big trouble. No, Balramji said, no, we cannot allow that, she cannot come inside the temple. You have to tell her to stay out. Or if you cannot tell her, then I will stay out. You take her back, and then I will not enter. Jagannath said, well, he's my elder brother, I cannot let him go, there's a big problem for me. But then Jagannath told Lakshmi that he cannot come. Lakshmi says, what is this? You only told me that on Thursday I can go anywhere to my devotee's house and I can eat anywhere, whoever serves me. Jagannath says, well, I cannot do anything, Balramji's order, so you cannot come. Lakshmi said, okay, if I cannot come, then you will see. You will see what happens. So Jagannath-ji, Balramji, they came back to the temple. And next morning, they got up, and now they are so used to eating so much over there in Jagannath-Puri. They got up, no prasadam. They called the pujari, what is this? No prasad today? Nothing for us to eat? He said, there is nothing in the kitchen, nothing in the storeroom. You didn't let Lakshmi come back and she took away everything from the kitchen and the storeroom. And all the servants, they're also gone because they're all servants of Lakshmi. Nobody to cook. What can I do? Jagannath told Balram, see, I told you, Dada, I knew something will happen, problem, let's go call Lakshmi, let's sort it out. Balram said, no, we cannot break the rules. We will go, we have so many devotees and Jagannath-Puri who can feed us, there's no problem. We'll go and have prasadam somewhere. So they were started. They went in Jagannath-Puri, everybody comes. And somehow Lakshmi had told Agnidev, you are not going to show up in Jagannath-Puri today. So actually nowhere in Jagannath-Puri any cooking happened. And now what to do? They didn't get anything to eat. And they were roaming around. And then Lakshmi told sun god, Suryadev, today you're going to bright. You're going to shine little more brightly today. Nobody wants to displease Lakshmi because they know if we mess with Lakshmi, then there will be a big problem. So all these demigods, they don't want to mess with Lakshmi. So sun was shining really bright that day. It was really hot, and these two brothers were out trying to get something to eat. There was nothing to eat, and their feet were burning. It was hot sand. So then one place they saw some feast was going on. But some Brahman was giving lots of food stuff for others to eat. So they went there, and as soon as they went there, and he was giving this puffed rice. So when he gave puffed rice to Jagannath and Balram, but that time Lakshmi told wind god, okay, you blow a little faster today. And wind came and he blew away all this puffed rice from the hands of Jagannath and Balram. So again, nothing to eat. They tried to, they said, okay, fine, we'll get some fruits from the trees. And when they went to the tree to get some fruit, all the fruits dried up. Nothing to eat. They went to a well to drink some water, but the well also dried up. So going around, they came to this house, and there was again a big feast going on. So they both went inside, and the this house was, and when they asked, whose house is this? And they answered, this is the house of a Chandal. So Balramji said, well, we cannot eat here. Jagannath-ji said, well, we don't have an option. There's no other place. Balramji said, okay, we can do one thing. He told the host that, okay, you give us the food stuff, we'll cook ourselves. Because we are Brahmins, we cannot eat here, but we will cook ourselves and we can eat. So the host said, okay, we'll make arrangement for you. So they arranged the kitchen and gave them all the ingredients. And Balramji told Jagannath, okay, you cook and I'll go take bath in the sea. And tell him, yeah, come on, we have some nice food. There is a problem. Jagannath said, okay. So Balramji went to take bath. And when he came back, he saw Jagannath-ji was trying to light the fire, and there was no fire because Lakshmi-ji had told Fire God, you're not going to appear today. Jagannath-ji was trying to blow the fire, and it was only smoke was coming out, and his eyes were all red, and his tears were coming out of his eyes. And then Balramji said, you cannot even cook, you cannot even light the fire. What kind of brother you are? I will do that. And Balramji tried again, no fire, only smoke, and Balramji's eyes were all, tears were coming out of his eyes. And then they saw an old lady came out of the house. She had 2 plates of prashadam. She said, why don't you eat this prashadam? Give us cooking. You cannot cook. Why don't you eat this? And then both the brothers, they were eating. And when they ate the prashadam, Balramji said, it tastes just like Lakshmi-ji cooks. What's the secret here? And afterwards, Lakshmi-ji came from inside. She said, this is the same house of Shriya Chandalini where I ate. Now you two have also eaten here. So now we are of the same caste. Now can I come back to the caste? And Balramji told Jagannath, now you deal with her. It's your wife. I cannot talk to her. Jagannath said, yes, you can come. Actually, this whole pastime was arranged to tell the people in Jagannath Puri, there is no caste system. Anybody can eat, anybody can come inside the temple, except obviously Hindus only. But even among Hindus, Shudra, Chandal, Brahman, they can all eat from the same plate of Jagannath Prashadam, and there's no problem. In fact, when we eat also, sometimes some Pandit comes and he takes from our plate and eats and goes away. So that is the beauty of Jagannath Prashadam. It never gets spoiled, never gets contaminated. In fact, there is a very beautiful preparation that they make is water from rice. They ferment this rice, they keep this cooked rice that they offer to Jagannath, and then they ferment it, and then they make very tasty water out of it. And the water, they sell it in the Anand Bazaar just like that. They have this cooler. So they dip in the water pot and give it to you for drinking. The first time when I went there, I got this water and drank it, and I was looking around where to throw that cooler out there. And the person who was selling it said, give me back the cooler. He said, nothing gets contaminated here. Give it back. I said, okay, I cannot throw. I said, let me wash it. He said, you rascals. तुम इस्कॉन वाले तुमको लोगों को कुछ नहीं पता, यहाँ कुछ भी झूठा नहीं होता है. He said, तुमसे पहले पता नहीं कितने लोग पी गए इसको लड़ते आपको धोए जला के. So you drink from the same cooler, Jagannath Prashad, so nothing is contaminated, no problem at all. So again, there are so many more stories, and the whole story of the Yatra is there also. That we'll do tomorrow, I guess. Hare Krishna. Do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you very much, bro, for refreshing the whole story again.
Thank you, Prabhu.
We really enjoy the train journeys with you, where we hear all these stories. Now this year we don't have the train journey, so we are getting it here online.
Yeah, Jagannath is very, very, very merciful. Very nice. Chalo, you all have a wonderful day. And thinking of Lord Jagannath. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, brother.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.